Welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to dive into how you can uncover your purpose. So this is a problem that I see so many of the high achievers that I work with really struggling with, and it's actually something that I think is a growing problem in the world. One of the things that I've noticed is that as we become more successful, more stable, etc., we see in the world this increase in the level of misery, which shouldn't make sense unless you understand how a human being works and how the spirit works within a human being. You see, once you've achieved a certain level of success in life, you begin to seek self-actualization. If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this will probably sound really familiar to you already, but essentially, what Maslow was saying, which I've seen to be true as well, is that once you've secured all of the basic needs that take care of you on a human level, so we're talking about your food, your shelter, not always having to be in survival mode anymore, having love, etc., etc. Once you've had all of those things secured in your life, then you start to seek personal growth and you begin to desire self-actualization. But the challenge here is that we live in a society where there's not really a lot of support for that. There's not a process that is well known that takes people step by step to actually become what I call their highest self, essentially fulfilling the highest level of potential that they have in this world. And Maslow postulated that it was like 2% of people ever achieve this. And so this is something that I'm absolutely passionate about. So if you don't know me, I'm Makhosi. I am the Royal Shaman, and I'm passionate about helping high achievers become their highest self. And the reason for that is I believe that our entrepreneurs are going to become the conscious leaders for the next generation. So I am so grateful and so blessed to be able to help people on this journey to self-actualization. And all of that starts with actually finding your purpose. So that's why we're here doing this video right now. So what I see whenever people are really struggling with finding their purpose is that there's a lot of other symptoms that start to happen in their life because they are disconnected from their own spirit, disconnected from who they really are. What will happen is your own spirit will start to trigger what in the spiritual community we call the awakening, which essentially is the awakening of you authentically, your authentic self, your higher self, trying to get you to wake up that you've created this whole life based out of survival mode, and now it's time to switch into a higher level of consciousness and become that version of yourself that you actually came into this world to be, not the version of you that has been pressured by mom, dad, your church, your school, the politics of the time, etc., etc. You really did come here for a reason. And in future videos, I'll dive into what actually is purpose, because that's like a whole other topic. But we have to start redefining what purpose actually is, because most people treat it as if it were a goal, as if it was a destination, when actually purpose is like right now. You live purpose now. The reason why so many people are feeling disconnected from their purpose is because in that survival mode, you are doing whatever you perceive that it takes to secure that stability so that you're not in survival mode anymore. But there has to be a process where you go from survival mode into growth mode, okay? Otherwise, you will just mentally keep yourself in survival mode, creating problems when there actually aren't problems. And I see that a lot. So many people that are challenged in this area start to feel this nagging, just emptiness. It's like everything should be going right in their life. Maybe this sounds familiar to you. Maybe you're feeling like I got the degree, I got the job, or I built this incredible business, and maybe I have this significant other, but there's still something missing inside of me and I can't figure out what that is. And you start to feel like really misunderstood, lonely, even though you're around a crowd of people, and it becomes more and more disheartening. We see this a lot in the celebrity realm. We see a lot of them who, by all accounts, by societal standards, they have it all, right? They look like they have it all, but they had to become something that they aren't in order to get to that level. And then once they get to that level, they're expected to maintain this facade, and no one knows who they really are on the inside. And so that's my zone of genius, is helping those people to come out and really be their authentic self. And it takes courage. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not something that everyone can. Well, everyone can do it, but not everyone will do it, because it isn't easy. It's one of the greatest challenges that a person will ever face in their life. But the rewards are so amazing on the other side. I also see in this that one of the greatest challenges here, one of the biggest problems when you are not able to fulfill this level of purpose in your life is, I don't know if you've ever read, there's this article out where they did a bunch of research on the regrets of the dying. And most of them pointed to not living their purpose, that they were constantly chasing what other people thought was important for them, who they thought they should be around, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of the regrets of the dying had to do with leaving this world, never fully living their purpose, never fully being present in the moment, never having the impact that they know that they came here to make. And I don't want that for you. And I hope you don't want that for yourself. So now let's start digging in. I've got 3 big major points that are going to help you to begin to uncover your purpose. And then I've got a bonus for you if you stick around. So the first one is that you have to understand how your soul, how your higher self is working. It is always working for you. It is that little, that gut feeling. It really is in your body. It's not in here, which is where most people try to find their purpose. You cannot find your purpose from your mind. Hint, hint. There's no vision boarding that's going to get you to your purpose, period. But your higher self is constantly trying to put you on the right path all day, every day. So every day you are getting new opportunities, new chances to start aligning back with your purpose. So what will happen is there will be certain challenges, certain types of challenges that will pop up and trigger you. Okay? And any time that you are triggered, that is pointing to an area that either needs to be healed or needs to be removed so that you can actually begin to live as your higher self. Now, this isn't to say that you never have emotions and that you need to become some transcended, no, not any of that. But all of those triggers are really pointing to areas where there is room for you to allow that authenticness to come out, actually be embodied. The second major point here is that you have to understand that finding your purpose is actually a destructive process. It is not comfortable. it actually hurts. It is painful because you become really attached to this version of yourself, and hint, others do too. You become so attached to this that you begin to believe that that is who you are, and you start to fight for your own limitations. So it requires that you accept that this is going to be uncomfortable, that it's going to be painful, that there's going to be parts that you're going to have to let go so that you can start to find the beauty that's underneath that, okay? And you really have to just lean into the pain. It is a deconditioning process. So however old you are, we don't have to talk too much about numbers, but right now I'm 31. So if I was starting this process right now, I have to decondition 31 years plus of conditioning, because conditioning actually starts while you're still in the womb. It starts while you are in your mother's womb. Whatever she was experiencing started to condition you, even from before you were born. So understand that this is not going to happen overnight. That is one of the biggest lies and loads of crap that I see out in the personal development and spiritual communities, is that this quantum leap means that your whole life changes like overnight. Yes, you can have incredible breakthroughs very, very quickly. However, you have to understand that if you have not done the deconditioning, if you do not allow yourself to integrate that level into your body and start to embody it, you have to actually become it. You can't just think it. Then it will not last. So for example, you see lottery winners. They win tons of money and their life changes overnight, right? But most of them end up losing it very, very quickly. Why is that? That's because that was not who they were. They don't know how to operate with this level of prosperity. And so they end up losing it very quickly. They end up going right back to where they were. So this is why you have to be able to take the time to integrate, embody this new version of yourself. That's why it can't happen like that, okay? That's why it can't happen overnight. And if it does happen overnight, I hate to tell you this, you are just bypassing, okay? Transformation takes time. So whenever I'm working with clients, I usually say, and I work with them, I can move them along very quickly, and it's probably going to be at least a year for you to really heal all of this, because we're healing literally decades, and I deal with ancestral wounds as well. So we're talking about multiple generations of problems here. It doesn't happen overnight. Anyone telling you that they're just trying to sell you something. Period. That's all it is. Also understand that you have to find purpose in the now. This means you don't have to find a new relationship to find purpose. You don't have to destroy your business and build a new one. You don't have to find a whole new group of friends right now in order to do that. Yes, because this is a destructive process, sometimes those things are going to break off and they're going to fade away. And it is ultimately for your higher good. But you don't want to be in self-destruct mode because you feel like you're dying on the inside, and so you start to like infect everyone else with that because you're like, well, they don't understand me. How can they be like this? I'm so misunderstood. But how can you expect other people to understand you when you don't understand yourself? Everything starts with you on the inside, healing all of that, and then becoming the version of yourself that ends up transforming the relationships with everyone around them. And that's really where your impact begins. I did promise you a bonus, so here it goes. For the bonus tip, you also have to understand that the level of your consciousness, the level of your self-awareness, is directly proportional to how much you are living in your purpose. So the higher your level of self-awareness and of consciousness, the more you are actually living in your purpose. So to assist you in this, I've actually created a quiz that is going to help you determine exactly what stage of consciousness you are in. And it's also going to, I've got a little bonus on there for you too. There's also a meditation customized for your exact stage to help you to start to move through that stage into your next level of consciousness. So I'm so glad that you joined me for this video. I can't wait to learn more about you and help you personally on your journey. I create all of this content based off of questions that I get, things that I see going on in the personal development community, and I am always looking to answer your questions. So for you, I want to know, what has been the greatest challenge on your personal development journey? Drop that in the comments, and I'm going to be choosing some of those to create future videos with answering your questions, making sure that I'm guiding you and giving you the resources that are going to help you to start to move more into your purpose. I look forward to seeing you next time. Talk soon.